Chuckload of Comics is brought to you by Cold War Games, creators of Squarriors, Fight Your Friends, and Lady Death Last Stand. For more information, visit coldwar.us.
So let's go ahead and get into our first movie review of the week. We're going to do two movie reviews. The first one is, of course, the ninth film from Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The movie, I'm sure you've heard about it. It's about a faded television actor played by Leonardo DiCaprio. His name's Rick Dalton, and his stunt double, Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Who, what was his name?
I forgot.
It was Booth, something Booth.
Something Booth, that's right.
Yeah, well, I blew that one. His stunt double, well, they strive to achieve fame and success in the film industry during the final years of Hollywood's golden age, 1969 L.A.
It is not about Charles Manson and Sharon Tate.
All you people that thought this is a Charles Manson movie, you've probably found out by now that it's not.
It's not.
Honestly, Charles Manson, small, almost minuscule part.
And it's not even the part you see in the trailer.
Yeah, that part was actually cut out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that, but yeah, a very small part.
Really, really spectacular film.
Oh, I thought it was
Absolutely loved it. Tons of cameos. All of Quentin Tarantino's favorite actors make appearances in there, besides Sam Jackson. No Sam Jackson.
Yeah, right? That was weird.
So really what it's about, it's not about Charles Manson.
Right.
It's about this guy who's kind of a washed up. He's a has-been actor, played by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
He was a big movie star. Now he's just he plays a villain on TV westerns. He's gone from big movie star to just TV B-lister, D-lister almost.
Yeah, right.
But his best friend in the world, Brad Pitt, who is his stunt double, these two, they're inseparable.
Yeah.
It's the most adorable little relationship between DiCaprio and Brad Pitt.
And
Brad
they kill
Pitt,
it. The
chemistry's phenomenal between these two. And they pal around together all over LA trying to get, Pitt's always trying to get him new acting gigs, and DiCaprio's always trying to get him new stuntman gigs. They do everything together. He's Brad Pitt's DiCaprio's driver because he lost his license, too many DUIs. It's such an adorable little relationship between these two. But then, so you got the Brad Pitt DiCaprio thing, but on the other hand, you've got Margot Robbie, who plays Sharon Tate,
who is their neighbor, or
exactly.
it's Leonardo DiCaprio's neighbor.
Right, exactly. So her story is she's an up-and-coming actress in 1969 Hollywood. So on one hand, you've got the upcoming new starlet, and on the other hand, you've got the guy whose career is going down. So it's a really cool little yin and yang, little dynamic of two stories going on in 1969 Hollywood. Everybody in this movie kills it.
I know.
Sharon Tate is an amazing story. Margot Robbie absolutely crushes it. She doesn't get a ton of screen time, but it's just, the movie's just a big love letter to Hollywood.
It is.
It's a love letter to filmmaking
and
of
television
the 1960s.
of 1960s. Like, it was just so good. I loved it.
It really is, man. From parties at the Playboy Mansion to cruising around the Hollywood Hills and cruising up and down Hollywood Boulevard. It's really, really spectacular. Shauna, this is not my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie.
Pulp Fiction's hard to beat.
I'd say this ranks, where does it rank on your top echelon of Quentin Tarantino films?
It's definitely in my top 5, hands down. I loved it. I thought it was great. But like I said, you can't beat Pulp Fiction. And Hateful Eight snuck into number 2 for me. As many times as I've seen it recently, it just gets better and better every time. So that's definitely my number 2. I think this one would be a toss-up for number 3 between Kill Bill and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just thought it was great. And it doesn't really have a plot, so don't expect this amazing plot. It's just a story about these guys.
That's what was so interesting. There really is zero plot in this movie.
Yeah.
There's no... the story isn't going anywhere.
Right.
There's no plot that these guys are following. It's just a series of spectacular Quentin Tarantino written scenes.
Yeah.
One spectacular scene after another. DiCaprio, Oscar-worthy performance. Pitt, I'd say Oscar-nominated worthy performance.
I would too. Margot Robbie too.
She was great.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
No Quentin Tarantino cameo that I noticed. I was kind of expecting one. You would think he would have slipped himself into a Hollywood.
Luke Perry's final movie.
My God.
Oh, he killed it too.
Luke Perry's scene is so good.
Yeah.
So just outstanding. I was expecting a round of applause from the audience. Didn't get it. Shauna clapped.
I did.
But it was so great to see Luke Perry in the movie.
Cool. Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, dude, everybody's in this movie. Shauna, favorite parts, favorite scene of the movie.
My favorite scene, you saw part of it, I think, in the trailers, was Leonardo DiCaprio by himself in his trailer when he, because he flubbed his lines the day before on set. And so he got really mad at himself, and he's talking himself up and pumping himself. He starts crying. He says, I'm quitting drinking. It's the alcohol. And then you see him chugging out of his flask. It was just brilliant. I love that scene.
Yeah, I'd say probably my favorite scene was the fight between Bruce Lee and Brad Pitt.
That's great, too.
That was so good. I won't spoil what happens, but...
You know they found that guy. That guy lives in Wisconsin.
Really?
He runs a dojo. Like
really?
Yeah, he's not an actor. They found him. I saw... They did a story on him on WGN.
Oh, my God. That Bruce Lee scene was pure gold. It was hilarious. He acted and sounded just like Bruce Lee. Oh, my God. That scene was great.
That was great.
Definitely go see it. I gave it a big thumbs up.
Me too.
I know you do, too. Go see it. Don't expect much of a plot.
Yeah,
just expect to sit down and watch 2 hours and 45 minutes of perfectly written, delivered scenes.
It's going to be just like Hateful Eight for me. I'm going to see it every time. Like, the more and more I see it, the more and more I'm going to love it. I know it.
I can tell. I wanted to walk right back in after I saw it.
Exactly.
Not because I missed anything, but just because I wanted to go back and visit these characters.
It again. Yeah.
These characters are just fall in love with them immediately.
It was great. I loved it.
So let us know what you guys think. If you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, let us know in the comments section. Moving on to our second movie review of the week. The new movie from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. The movie's called Good Boys.
Yes.
The movie comes out August 16th. We were lucky enough. We saw a pre-screening of it this week. It's about...